Hey guys, what's up? So I'm kind of mid-job here, but I figured I may as well bring everybody along. I am going to be adding. There's a bee right behind me. Stay away, brother. I'm going to be adding some rock lights and some whips to this, and then this afternoon when it arrives, I'm going to be adding the 8-gang switch as well. Haven't seen a ton of how-to on how to wire it up out there. So I'm going to get started and kind of run you through that on this video. So hopefully it helps out those people who haven't done it before, just to see how to do it. I'm by no means a professional, but I've done this a couple times, and the kit that I ordered, the 8-gang switch, is super easy to do. So I'll kind of take you through that and show you. So with that said, let's get back into this job here.
Gonna say it. You never knew what love was. You lived your life with mouths of bitterness. And I'm just gonna say it, I'll say it. I used to think that you were right in this, but maybe you were wrong. I'm just gonna say it, I'll say it.
Okay, so as you can see, I already have the hood off. I already removed the panel that is right here. And I, removed the dust / mud / water cover or whatever that is there. So you got to pull that out. You got to pull out all the push pins and take the bolts out. Pretty quick, super easy. Pro tip: get this windshield, and you'll be able to remove it without taking the windshield off. I was happy about not having to remove the windshield to pull that panel off. Would have been a pain in the butt. So anyway, what I'm going to tie into as far as power goes is this power wire that is right here. This is ran back to the battery box. Your ground here is not ran to the battery box. It's ran somewhere else on the frame. It's already ready to go. And then the red cable here is ran back to the battery box. So I'll need to go back there and connect that cable to the battery for it to be live. Once it's live, then I'm ready to go as far as power goes. I also don't have it yet, but I will be getting or tying into. I'll either get the thing or get the wire to do it, or I'll just tie right into it. This is your ignition wire. So it's an adapter to make it key power if you tie into that. So Honda made it pretty cool, pretty easy to get there and get it done. The only thing that would have been better is if they would have provided a bus bar from the start. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, I guess, or whatever. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to start running my wires to the rock lights. I'll show you real quick, and these are the, this is the controller for my rock lights. And the problem with the rock lights is that's how much cable I have. And then actually the rock lights are going to be fine. I got enough length there. This is my controller for my whips, which is awesome. It's a great little controller, but the length of my wires is short enough, and these leads are not long enough for a 4-seater. So I'm going to have to get my length in here. So I'm likely going to have to mount this controller in the rear, probably near the fuse box, rather than up here with the rest of the stuff. And then I'll just run the wire up through kind of a hole in the body to get up here and connect to stuff here. One thing that's cool about this set that I have as well is they do tie into the brake lights. So when I hit the brakes, if I tie it in properly anyway, when I hit the brakes, the whips will automatically turn red and be used kind of as brake lights as well. So I thought that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the work on it. So I have got one side of the rear ran, I've got the front ran. And like I said, I'm bringing them up to here, just kind of hanging them out here for now until I can get my switches, which will be here in the next half hour or so, mounted. And then when I have the switches mounted, then I'll worry about everything else. For now, let me show you how I got the pod light from the rear and how I'm going to bring the electrical for the whips up as well. Basically, you come back here to the back. Actually, let me grab a light real quick. flashlight. So from right here to the back, you can see that hole along the body or whatever basically goes all the way up. So I haven't tightened this wire up so it's not rattling around yet, but rest assured I will. So that's where it went up. It's not super easy to get there. You do have to pull some of the panels up front. I had some extra steel rod that I used to push it up through there. You can also use like a fiberglass fishing rod or anything you have to fish it through, but to me that's the easiest way to get your lights up there for the switch. So I'll show you what I had to do with the panels, and I'll do a time lapse here in a minute so you can kind of see me doing it on the other side, because I have to run the other side up as well. But basically you have to pull this pin, here, I'm gonna put that there. Basically you have to pull this pin, this. You don't have to really pull those because it doesn't really make a difference. That one, this one, and then there's one on the inside as well. You pull those pins and then you can pull this fender out enough to grab it. Don't put too much tape on the wire when you're sending it through. If you do, then it'll be too hard to get out. You just gotta have a little bit of tape on there, enough to get it through, so when it gets up to here, you can just pull it off. If you have monstrous hands, it's gonna be a difficult job to grab it out of there. I have normal large size hands, not monstrous hands. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get the wires ran up to the front. I've got them mounted on each side. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of places to mount them here on the Talon. You've got the shield for the ECU or some sort of computer right there. So it kind of blocks off mounting it up higher. And then putting it in here, I just don't want to get it too hot or anything else. I want it to actually serve a purpose and, you know, light up the rock. So that's where we went with it. On this side, we'll see how it looks. It's same place, but excuse me, more exposed. The only thing I'm thinking, we'll see if the light's too dramatically different, then I'll move it. I secured them with high quality zip ties because that's how I roll. Also, I'm not 100% sure I want to keep them located where they are, so I'm not going to permanently secure them until I know that they are. So anyway, I'm going to run the lights up through that pocket there, or the wires anyway through that pocket there, and then get them wired up.
Well, I'm just a man, flesh and blood. All I need is real love. Your ticket price is too damn high. I don't play with guns, 'cause bullet holes still remain. That don't mean I've changed. Bullet holes still remain. That don't mean I've changed. That don't mean I've changed.
Okay, my wires are pulled. You kind of saw what I did there in that video, but I brought them up behind the fender and then up through this gap right here, and then here they are sitting right here. So I left myself plenty of room to be able to put them where I want to. They are going to be going over here, and you'll see I got two wires here as well. The reason I have two wires is this is solid 2-wire I got from Home Depot. Probably overkill for what it is, but that's all they had at Home Depot. So that's what I'm going to run my power to my whip lights for, because all my switches are going to be mounted over here. So yeah, that's how you run the wires to it. I just brought them up over here. Like I mean, I'm sure you know I will secure them to the bars in here, make sure everything's tight so it's not rattling around, and then everything is going to go on a switch panel over there. Okay guys, I am back. It's a little later in the day. I've made a little bit of progress. I'm just going to update you on kind of the progress, where we're at, what things look like, and kind of the plan. I'll get it going. I got my switches here, so I'm ready to rip there. Let me show you first how I ran the wiring here. So all the wiring comes up under here. My switch plate is going to be over here. When you run pods, you get all this extra wiring, so it's, you know, it can be a mess under here. I decided to use this little deal, wrap it around there a couple times, so I just have the, you know, short, about a foot long leads coming off each one of my my rock lights there. So that will be nice there. My switches will all be wired up to here as well. I'm gonna pull power from there. I'll show you my switch plate. Switch plate looks about like this. So it comes with this little breaker right here. which is pretty cool. So if you have an over amperage or whatever issue, then it will break for you, which is pretty cool. We wire hot in there, hot out there, and then you know, put it into the box that's going to be mounted right here. I am gonna drill a couple pilot holes into the frame, and it's going to be secured to the frame right there. So that'll mount up into there. Got all my wiring ran up here, so that's kind of what it's gonna look like. I'll show you where I put my switches as well. This is where I decided to do my switches. So it's gonna be up here. I'm tall, I want it up out of the way, and I want to conserve all space that I can down here for, you know, putting my gummy bears. Got to put my Charleston chews down here, you know, some gummy worms up there too. So I don't want to get rid of this space or use it for anything else, so I put my switches up here. So okay, the GoPro gave out, so I guess I'll film this on my phone. Fuse box is in, and as good old cousin Eddie once said, it looks real nice, real nice. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to run each one of the leads in for each of the accessories here, and they'll come up through here, and then this cover will go on right there, and then it'll be nice and protected and kept out of the elements. Like I said, I'll run my hot lead in here, hot lead out there, it'll come in the box up here, and my ground will come in the box as well, and we'll be good to go. So that's what it looks like. All in all, it looks real nice, real smooth, easy setup. All right, I guess I should film this part too. So your red positive cable that runs up to the front is in the battery box. It's hanging out. I already pulled it out. Should have showed you what it looks like before, but it is hidden back up in there. It's got the blue tape on it. The easiest way to get it out, it's in there with one of those zip tie slash, I don't know, body panel thingamajiggers. Easiest way to get it out is take your airbox cover, not the airbox cover, but you know, the cover to access it. Anyway, take it off and then pop that body panel thingamajigger out, and then you can pull it out and then take it off the cable there. So you got to take this off, get all the blue tape off of it, and then you've got to connect it to your battery terminal, and then you're live up there. So I'm gonna get this connected. Okay, it's been a few days and I am finally pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything up, put everything back together, and light it up. So I've already tested everything out to make sure everything works. Before I put all the covers back on and everything else, I'm gonna show you guys what I did as far as the wiring goes. With this, so far today, all I've done is whips and rock lights. So two different accessories, I guess you'd say. With that said, let's take a look at the wiring. So here's what the actual panel looks like, and there's a cover that goes over the top of it, and I am ready to put that cover on it. So basically you just bring the wires up behind here and tuck everything in there, and the cover goes on. Oh, by the way, on the back side of the cover that you get, there's an extra fuses and a fuse puller. So pretty solid setup. I'm super impressed with this deal. So there you go. It is all sealed up and everything. It's got a cover for this as well for the breaker, and then this all goes under the covers and whatnot on the deal. So here is where I tied in. You'll see I took the green and white wire off of here, and I tied in and put the red and white wire right here, and then I run my leads up into there. Here's my ground and whatnot as well. What I did with my rock lights always come with, you know, too much stinking cord on them, if you buy the kits anyway. So I wrapped them around this deal, and then I put them all together there. My controller is right there. So I've got the controller for the whips as well tied up. Still a couple more zip ties right here before I'm done, but once I get that top on, I'll put it on there and it'll all be tied up behind there. Okay, so as for how I ran my switches, I put them up here. So some people like to put them down here using Trey Brock from Facebook's little setup that allows you to put your switches right there. I just didn't want to give up the space. I don't know if this will be the permanent location. I do like it up higher like this, but it's key powered. Turn the key on, switches come on, and then you turn on the accessory that you want, and you're good to go. So This only comes with 5 of these deals, so if you don't use a blank initially, or if you don't use more than 3 switches initially, then you're gonna have to choose a fake button to put in, which is what I did there. So I just ran the wires along the top here, and then down the side of my window and down through the side there, and then into the front. So overall, super satisfied with how it looks. I like it up here. We'll see. I haven't been on a night ride with it up there yet, so we'll see how I like it up there after I've been up there for a night ride. Okay, I wanted to show you where I tied in my Bluetooth controller for the whips as well. So I have it coming in the back right here. The actual whip controller is right there through that hole there. You can kind of see it right there. That's the whip controller. I have it zip tied to that. Power wire or lead comes in through there. My extension from the front comes in at the bottom down there, and I just kind of met in the middle here with shrink wrap and connectors and whatnot. So that's where it's at. I'll put the cover over the top of it. Hopefully you won't see anything or know anything about it. It's Bluetooth controlled, so I'll have a Bluetooth to control it. I'll show you a different angle. So it's all back in there behind the air box. And then I tied the leads up on this side, right down in there, you can see. So just tied them up to the bar real tight. And then I did the same on the other side, but it's kind of a little bit harder to see. To get past the cover there, that cover, you can't really see it, but that cover where the wire goes through, that is a flexible rubber cover, so you can kind of push it through it. And then the wires ended up in there. Somehow you can't really see it, but up in there basically. So I ran the whip wires up through here. Had to take this cover off for this side in order to get the wire up through here, but I've got them right there, and then the whips are mounted right here with these whip mounts, and I dig them. So they go straight up, lights start right there, and then they do lean in just a little bit, but then they're straight up in the back. And then I haven't mounted this one yet, gotta go get a bolt for that, but it'll be the same on that side. Yeah. All right, guys, I want to close out this install and review process for this 8-gang switch and tell you what my thoughts were on the installation process and you know, a little bit about the switch and what I feel about it. So first and foremost, I'll tell you the bulk of my time over the last few days with getting this project together was spent running wires from the pod lights and running wires from the back to the front, stuff like that. The actual installation of the switch, regardless of your machine, whether it's a Talon or a Can-Am or whatever it is, the actual installation of the switch is a quick and easy process. So all you need is a hot lead from the battery, and you need a ground, and you need access to key power, and you're good to go. So the process to get that installed was super easy and didn't take a ton of time. The only reason I went over a couple days of getting it done is because of the time constraints that I had with crap that I have going on around the house. So the installation process was very easy. I'll tell you this as well. The thing I love about this kit is the ability that you have to add accessories like that. So I have a new set of lights right here and one of these boxes over here that is lighted mirrors. And when I go to put them on, the installation process is going to probably take me 20 or 30 minutes. All I have to do is tee the wires, run those wires to the positive and negative on the switch panel, and then I'm good to go. I push the button, everything's ready to rip. So it's a really quick process, no adding additional switches, rocker switches or whatever else, no adding fuses and all that kind of stuff as well. It's just super quick and easy. So I love that about this switch panel. One thing I want to mention as well, so there is a 6-gang option of this switch. I'll tell you this, the difference in quality with the 6-gang switch and the 8-gang switch is on another level. The 8-gang switch is so much higher quality than the 6-gang switch, it's not even funny. The 6-gang switch kind of feels like a toy, the way that you push the buttons on and off and whatnot. With this one, it just feels much more well built, much more solid, and overall just feels like a higher quality kit. So I'm impressed with the quality on it. I'm impressed with the installation on it. Getting it going was super easy. I'll mention this, the instructions for the most part are garbage. They are translated Chinese stuff, which if you've ever installed something from China, generally translated Chinese stuff doesn't come out real well in the translation process. So I would, if you have any questions on the installation process, you can leave some comments here. I'd be happy to help. There's also some other stuff on the internet that you'll be able to find as well. One thing they leave out is the key power on this setup. With my set of instructions, it said it was leads for a dimmer switch. It's leads for the key powder. I'm not sure why it said it was leads for the dimmer switch, but basically I run the red and white wire to the green and black wires, or green and white wires for the key power on this Honda, and I was good to go. So instructions aren't the greatest. Everything else about it is great. So would I recommend the kit? Heck yes, it's a great option. I love that adding accessories at any time is it's a super quick process. So love the kit. I highly recommend it. I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of a couple things. So we recently added a bunch of new products to our website, including HSP seats. So if you're looking for seats for your side-by-side, give us a shout. Shoot us an email at info@derangedoffroad.com and we'd be happy to get you a quote. We do have some of their products on the site already. If you're looking for a buddy seat or if you're looking for a booster seat, harnesses, stuff like that, we have that stuff on the site already. But if you are interested in any of the stuff that you see on their website, give us a shout. Reach out to us at info@derangedoffroad.com and we will get you a quote on a seat or whatever it is you're looking for. They are a great company that's local here to Arizona. They put out really high quality stuff, and I know you'll be impressed when you see them. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It really helps out our channel as we work to grow. So it allows us to do things like buy products and review them, or go on rides and whatnot where we're able to provide you this content. So your subscription really helps out with that. So does liking. So if you're already subscribed, please feel free to like our videos and share them with your friends. It really does help us as we grow. Those of you who are already subscribed, we are certainly grateful for you being here. And if you're not, we're grateful for you being here as well. So we're happy to put together this content. We enjoy doing it, and hopefully you get some value out of the content that we put together. With that said, that's it for this one. Ride safe, pack out what you pack in, and we'll see you on the next one.